Well, was the Department of Children and Families guilty of negligence in the 2015 death of a 7-month-old child? The trial to answer that question got underway in Waterbury today. Aaden Moreno was killed by his father in 2015 when he was thrown over the Aragoni Bridge. The child's mother argues DCF should have gotten involved sooner. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules is in Waterbury with our first details from the trial.
The attorneys for Aaden Moreno's mother says DCF should have sought temporary custody of the 7-month-old after a restraining order was vacated by a family court judge. Attorneys for DCF say they had no idea that Aaden was in imminent danger.
I was shocked.
Kimberly Natoli, a DCF worker for 24 years, was the first person to take the stand. She says she was shocked to learn of Aaden Moreno's death. She said she never had any concern regarding the safety of the 7-month-old. Aaden was killed on July 5th in 2015 when his father, Tony Moreno, threw him off the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. Aaden's body was found days later. Moreno was found guilty of murder and risk of injury to a child in 2017. He was sentenced to 70 years in prison. Natoli says Aaden's mother, Adrian Ayola, did make her aware of abuse from Moreno.
Miss Ayola told me that he would call her names, that he did push her, and that he did poke her.
There was a restraining order in place against Moreno from Ayola. However, her attorney says Moreno violated that order. The restraining order was vacated on June 29, 2015. Ayola's attorney argued at that point DCF should have placed Aaden under a 96-hour hold and gotten an order of temporary custody. He said Moreno had a significant criminal history and a history of making threats towards Ayola and their son. Moreno and Ayola were both available to do an assessment with DCF on July 2nd, but the meeting never happened because the DCF worker was on vacation. 3 days later, Aaden was killed. DCF says they plan to do an assessment with both Ayola and Moreno on July 8th, but they never did one prior to Moreno getting custody.
DCF did not then conduct any separate assessment of Aaden being in the custody of Mr. Moreno.
No.
An expert in the field of child protective services also took the stand. She said DCF's failure to meet with Moreno prior to him getting custody of Aaden did not meet the minimum standard of care. In Waterbury, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.